Hello there, I'm the Christian Relationship Counsellor and I'm new on YouTube, so please do subscribe to my channel and share it with others if you think my message is useful or at least gives you food for thought. Today's scripture is taken from Matthew, and that's Matthew 47. And the title of this video is, What kind of fish are you? The kingdom of heaven is like a fishing net thrown into the water and caught fish of every kind. That is like the world, which is fluid, constantly moving, constantly changing, merging and allowing us to absorb the good and bad energy. We can attract all and sundry into our lives, the good and the evil. That is what life is like. When you go to work or when you're on the street or the moment you leave your house, you are prone to good or bad energy. You do not know who is coming into your space, into your life. Life is an opportunity, and and everything is available to you. You can pick up jobs, you can pick up sales items, you can meet good people, you can also meet bad people. But what I'm saying is from you wake up and you have an opportunity to thank God, you are able to attract good, but you're also able to attract evil. The world is your oyster. So it continues. When the net was full, they dragged it up onto the shore, sat down and sorted out the good fish into crates, but threw the bad ones away. Sometimes we enter into relationships that are not satisfying. They leave us drained and empty, while others fill us with joy. It is up to us to discern who is good for us and who is bad for us, to know who to cast out and who to keep into our lives. And that is what I'm saying. You do not know what's going to happen when you wake up or when you leave the home. You do not know who you're going to meet. You do not know what intentions or what your colleagues at work, what happened to them the night before. You have so many people with mental issues. You do not know if you're going to buck up into one of those. You do not know if you challenge somebody, how they're going to react. So each day you are, I can't think of the word, but you can attract good and evil. And it's really up to you to discern who you want into your life. And how do you do that? Like I said, you've got to observe. It's usually, if you've got time, you can test over the period and see what their behavior and their actions are like. But if you've only got a second or a couple of seconds, you only got your gut instinct to protect you. God gave us our gut instinct to protect us because he knows that there are situations when we will not have time to test somebody whether or not they are of God. And that is the way it will be at the end of the world. Angels will come and separate the wicked people from the righteous. In the end, we will be responsible for our happiness. And, we have to remember, a lot of people blame other people for what is happening in their lives. They blame people for the choices and decisions they've made. They get themselves into relationships, and it's almost like they believe the relationship got into your life by itself. It's almost like you're extracting the fact that you didn't have a part of it. Even when you meet up with a narcissist, it's fine saying, he's terrible, he's done this to me, he's done that to me, and I can't stand it, I'm going crazy, I don't know how to get rid of him, why did God bring him into my life? But who chose him? Who brought him into your life? Who brought him into your net? Or he or she? Who brought that person into your life? You probably thought it was a good fish, and it turns out that it wasn't. But whose fault is that? But once you have that fish into your net, once you have that person in your space, how do you deal with that person? How do you manage that person? Some people are what they say, bad from them barn. You know, some people, no, they've just got bad energy. They've just had a bad life, and there is nothing you can do to change them. But they still say God can change anything and anyone. He can change. He's a miracle maker. And I believe, people always knock me for this, but I truly believe that love, God is love. I believe that love can change people. So when you bring these narcissists or this negative energy into your life, instead of fighting it and instead of being obstructive, why don't you try love to see if that will turn things around, to see if that will make life easier for you? And if it doesn't, you'll just have to cast that fish back into the sea. But unless you've tried it, because I believe everybody comes into your lives for a reason or a season or a lifetime, depending on the circumstances, depending on how you respond, you react, how you adjust, how you accept. A lot of the times the responsibility is ours. We bring people into our lives, we pull the net in, and we bring all these people and situations and circumstances and experiences. We bring them into our lives. And then we don't want them anymore. We want to get rid of them. We want to throw them back into the sea. But some of them stick. Some of them are not going to go back into the sea because some of them are disguised as good people, good experiences, good circumstances. So you cannot tell the good from the bad. But once you're at the end, you will be able to say, over time, it does say, at the end of the world, at the end of a cycle, at the end of a period, you will be able to discern, and the angels will come and separate. The angels will come and separate the wicked people from the righteous. You will get an opportunity to correct your mistake, if it is a mistake, or to adjust to your circumstances. We all get an opportunity to change our lives. And some of us forget we have choices. Yes, you have choices, and they might be uncomfortable. I remember I made a bad choice. And what did that mean? It meant that I could stay in that situation, or I could leave. If I left, it meant I would lose my beautiful home. I would not have time with my family. I would have to leave my job. But I still had a choice. But some people don't want to make that choice. People don't want to make uncomfortable choices. And then they get angrier with the person that they're with. They get more and more resentful. And they end up in a situation where they are very, very unhappy. And they're blaming the world and everything in it for their circumstances. Always remember, you made the decision. You were complicit in the decision. Nobody can force you. They can entice you and deceive you into a situation. But, unless it's, crime, they can't force you up the aisle. They can't force you into a relationship. So at some point, you were complicit in this relationship that you're in. It didn't turn out the way you wanted. He wasn't your knight in shining armor, or she wasn't your perfect queen. And, you have to kind of think, why did I end up like this? And what am I going to do about it? I found myself in this situation. How am I going to get myself out of it? Or is it just a question of adapting and changing? Sometimes they say if you change the way you think, you change the outcome. If you change the way you've been doing things, you get a different outcome. Some people keep doing the same thing over and over again, and yet they expect a different outcome. It doesn't work like that. Some people, they get into the same types of relationships and it ends the same. So if you get yourself, not another narcissist, change the way you're handling your situations and the way you're managing your life, the way you're expressing your love. And I'm